You know, the company I belong to, my core group, I'm talking about apostolic leaders. The lowest giver in our group gives 25%. There is a man in that group that gives 70. Every time I see him, I start confessing my sins. Yeah, some of the wrong things I did with money that belong to God. He doesn't say anything. No. Once he sits down, I don't know, something about him start convicting you. So me, I was at that 10, you know, even in those days, used to argue. I was growing. I won't tell you where I am now, but I'm making the journey. There was a pastor who pastored a church. The church got to a point they were giving away 50%. They reduced church operations and expenses so that they can use the larger chunk of their money to finance world mission, open up nations. I think they finally got to a point that towards his death where they have reached 70%. I got the understanding that the resources God gives to our ministry is not only to be consumed inside. It's not just individuals, businesses, organizations. You set that company, you put it in the policy that 20% of this company's net profit is for financing. I have met really wealthy people in the kingdom, and one of the shocking things about most of them that God exposed me to is that they all live by a kingdom value called simplicity. You see that you won't know by. Now I'll tell you about our brothers from the ones I met in Europe and America. He's a very good friend of mine, a mentor of mine called James Forline, you know, and he took me to show me certain things. You see, God needs a remnant to show it so that others can wake up. I met people who helped to wake me up. This young boy was 28 when God gave him a breakthrough idea. He invented a technology that is used now in our Ajaokuta state. Everywhere there is metallurgical industry, anything that has to do with metals and processing them and cutting them, all those things, they are using his technology around the world. He was 28. By the time he was 30, he had started making millions. He patented it. And he makes these millions on daily and weekly basis in dollars. He called his pastor. They brought 4 of them and there were 5, and he created a board and he wrote away 100% of that for financing missions. The pastor said no. One day you